Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, April 7th. Just a quick word. First of all, thanks for showing up for the Zoom meeting yesterday. Again, I hope everybody's well, and let's get right to today's activity. So, if you can see on the screen here, I have the question: to what extent did various groups seek to redefine American democracy during the 1960s? And in what ways were these movements similar to or different from past movements for the expansion of individual rights? So I have five groups of people here that were prominent in the 1960s for advocating for their own civil rights, advocating for the rights of others. So there's another document attached here that has a number of documents, the most famous being Betty Friedan here, excerpt from the Feminist Mystique or Martin Luther King, or the free speech movement, and so on and so forth. So I'd just like you to scan through some of those and how they match up with these categories. But the trick of this really is, and this is a review activity, you need to know the most very basic things about this. But how do they compare to a past group or a past event? So for the example I give here, okay, we know about Martin Luther King, or we should know about Martin Luther King and his the struggle for the fight for integration. And how does he compare to a past leader, whether it's W.E.B. Du Bois or Frederick Douglass? What were they articulating for, and then what's the similarity and what's the difference? So it's really not, this isn't anything earth-shattering, but we need to connect somewhat the historical future with the historical past. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do, looking at those five groups. Ethnic minorities could be American Indians, could be Mexican Americans, that type of thing. The government, that refers to what is the government's role in this, and you'll see the very quickly in the documents there's a decision called the Miranda decision, which you've probably heard about. You have the right to remain silent. That's what it's referring to, government officials working at it. And can you compare the Miranda decision to another past decision dealing with individual liberty or individual rights? And obviously, women will be pretty easily connectable. So, when you submit this, you're going to submit this on Thursday. Just if you do some sort of chart like this, submit it to Turnitin. Just some sort of past, present, and similarity. And again, when I talk about present, we're talking about the 1960s. So past group or event, 60s group or event, that's where the documents are. And then similarities or differences. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. This shouldn't take you, I don't think, all that long. But you do have a couple days to do it. So any questions, let me know. And I'll see you again tomorrow.